They'll use that as a segue.
Yeah, they will. Ham. Ham. We're starting.
Hi. Hi.
We're starting.
Hi.
Whew. I think it was a good idea. We slept here last night.
It was so good. Did you?
You
I
just
get the
wake up.
best sleep.
Yeah, because then it's like takes too long to get ready.
I love sleeping in makeup.
Me
So
too.
good.
I love sleeping in any kind
In a
of set.
We're gonna talk.
What's up, Ham?
We were talking. I have not seen you in forever, even though we just did the show together.
Before that, it was a long time.
It was a long time. There was a pandemic.
That happened.
There were some babies.
We did not see each other during COVID.
No, we didn't.
We followed the rules.
We follow the rules, guys. 6 feet. We're 6 feet apart.
Yep.
Talk about Fargo.
Here's the
Just
thing.
kidding.
The
Can
city or
I
the
give
show?
you a compliment
Sure.
that
the
you
first
are
time in your life.
amazing on Fargo and the morning show, two different characters.
Very different.
And
Shot at the same time.
really?
Yeah, I was shooting those parallel tracks. Flying back from Calgary to here in Los Angeles, and I was
That's
shooting them
amazing.
both.
You're so good, and I loved seeing you in like a bad guy role.
Yeah.
Is that the
Yes, it was a
word?
role.
Guys, it's early. Just get ready. I'm not going to be able to find words.
Go and live, or stay and die. It's up to you.
I enjoyed doing
good.
both of them. It was super fun. I was watching Fargo since it started because
good.
I thought it was such a bold idea to take that movie that was so awesome and try to reimagine it. And then they've done it so strangely for each season being so different. So it was fun to be a part of
And
that.
Noah, did he write it?
Noah wrote, yeah,
Wow.
yeah. It's an ambitious undertaking.
All right, so
And
we
it
got
was
work
very
stuff.
cold,
Oh, it was.
very, very cold.
Okay.
Speaking of
Like it was.
speaking of cold,
Speaking of cold, yeah, we're going to get the work stuff out of the way, and then we're just going to gab.
talk about cold. Palm Royale
Yeah, great segue.
didn't look cold.
It wasn't.
No, so the opposite of cold. Warm. I like to
Yeah,
call it
we shot in
I like to call it
California.
warm Royale.
We
Tell me
shot-
how
We
that
shot
came
in.
about.
It's so weird to talk about like
Tell me about
business
how
in
it
this
came
way
about.
because we're friends.
Because I really want to know because we haven't talked about it at all.
No, we
and
haven't.
I haven't finished it.
That's okay.
But
I haven't
I am
finished
watching
yours
it, loving
either.
it. This means we haven't seen any of it.
This means we watched the trailer, you guys. But you know what?
Whoa.
Just watch how we fake it.
Just fake it till you make it. And if you can't make it, don't
Fake
fake
it.
Make it and then stick it. How did it come about? How did you get involved with it? You didn't write it because I know
I
you
did
write,
not write it.
write your own stuff a lot,
it
which we'll get to later.
It came to me
Upstage, yeah.
through this actress. I don't know if you've heard of her. Her name's Laura Dern.
No.
Icon Laura Dern.
Oh, Bruce Dern's kid.
Ladies, I have an announcement. I know, yeah, surprised to see me, considering you left me for dead.
I mean, I just love Laura Dern. She
I love her too.
had this in development for a few years. She had the book.
And the book was
The book was called
a
Mrs.
memoir, or was
Mr.
it just total fiction?
Total fiction. It was called Mr. and Mrs. American Pie. I mean, the show has gone.
At any point did they say bye-bye?
I hope they don't.
I hope they don't either.
We said bye-bye at the end of the shoot.
Right.
We said bye-bye to each
That's
other.
what they do whenever they wrap. They're like, bye-bye.
And everyone backs out. Yeah, and then I just said yes.
Well, it's so good.
kind of
I
mean,
love
the
it so
pilot was
much
so
for you
good.
because
Thank you.
You get a chance to do all of the things that you do so well.
Thank
Which
you.
I have, ever since I met you, which I can't even remember the first time we met. It was way before I was on the show with, I
Wait,
want to say like with Rudd or somebody, but it was like a long, long
Like
time
a
ago.
social
Like 2006. When did you start?
wait, did we
SNL?
meet before SNL?
Like in passing.
I started 2005.
Okay, because I remember seeing you on the show, and I want to say it was one of the first sketches you did, and it's one of my favorite lines that's ever been on the show, but it was from a sketch called Lady Business. Do you remember what I'm going to say?
I remember Lady Business. Yes, I do. Something about a bear.
Because I'm a bull in the boardroom, a boar in the bedroom, and a bear on the toilet.
You heard it
And
here
you
first.
delivered it so perfectly, and I was like, that girl's gonna be amazing.
Well,
And
I
it's
didn't write that line.
I know you
but,
didn't. I think
but
Tina did.
Yes,
But
she did.
First of all, she gave you that line and didn't take it for herself because I think she was in the sketch too. But it was so good, and I was like, and ever since you've been on the show, and I've had the chance to work with you on the show so much, I love working with you. I get a chance anytime
love
you
it
say,
too. I
"Come
love working
do
with you.
anything," I'll do it. When you said, "Please be in Bridesmaids," I was like, "Sure," and you were like, "We haven't written a part yet." But I went,
And you said yes.
and I said yes, and it was
And
awesome.
we had so much fun.
God, I know I think it's online somewhere, but the outtakes of us just nonstop laughing. And now every time I'm in a car, I put music on. Like if I have a scene in a car, I'll put music on and I'll start to like dance with whoever's in the car with me for the scene partners. And they're like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "This is what Wig and I would do."
Oh, I love
Remember
that.
Waiting for our cue, and then
Yeah.
of course missing our cue.
Yeah. And then it's in there.
To the Black Eyed Peas.
Yep.
Mazel
That's
tov.
so funny. Obviously, you're probably known for Don Draper
At that point.
at that
sure.
point. And it's so funny to me how when people are known for that thing and then there's something else, people are so like surprised.
Well, I think happy. It's like
Yeah, because it's
to
like,
discover
and
it, you're
he's
like,
funny.
"Oh,
It's like, yeah.
awesome."
Like when you did SNL, it was like,
Well, do you remember? Of course, everybody on Monday when you come in as the host,
Yeah.
there's a big meeting in Lauren's office, pre-COVID, where you come in and all the writers are there and all the cast is there and everybody jams into the small office and everybody was in Mad Men drag,
oh my God, that's right. Okay.
which was very
So
strange.
we
'Cause,
never do that.
I
I don't
know.
think we've ever done it
I
since.
don't think before or since.
Like,
Bill Hader was in drag.
Yes.
John Lutz was dressed as Joan.
Yep.
Paula Pell had a cigarette taped to her finger because she didn't know how to smoke. So she was doing this.
I totally forgot
Everybody
about that.
was already doing bits.
That was
Colin
such a
looks like
good
Colin
time.
Jost is like 2 years out of Harvard and looks like a total dirtbag, Staten Island dirtbag.
Love it.
It's amazing.
Staten Island Dirtbag, that's the name of your...
That was my first high school band.
Yep.
the Staten Island Dirtbags.
But do you remember that group? It was like Mad Men, The Office, SNL. We kind of all like
Everybody gelled at the same time.
ran with each other.
Yeah, it was super fun.
It was
I
so
never lived in
fun.
New York then, and I wish I did because we could have like hung out even more. But like I became friends with you,
Yeah.
Hader, so many guys from that, Will, Fred, so many guys from that cast,
Mhm.
and you guys were all so good. It was such a moment in time of like distilled fun and funny.
And you were always so game when you came to the show.
I hosted 3
And-
times in 2 years.
I know.
And it
That's,
was like, and then
that's
never
kind of a
again.
record.
But it was crazy. Like it was really fun to just be around that, and so I was happy to be asked. You know, it was so fun. It felt like I was being invited into a very cool group of folks. They'll use that as a segue.
Yeah, they will.
So,
So yeah, hi.
Kristen,
John, we haven't talked about the morning show,
we haven't.
which
I was on that
I
show.
love. You were in that show.
Yeah. In it and
And
on it. Are you in it
in
or
it,
on it?
You're
In it.
you were
on
in it, on it, around it.
You've been smiling a lot. It unnerves me.
You take care of your end. I'll take care of mine.
What a great group of people to work with. Billy,
Yes.
Billy, I mean, you had a lot of scenes with Billy. He's so
Billy Crudup, who I
Good.
saw, the first time I saw Billy Crudup was on stage in like 1994. I was teaching school, and during spring break, teachers get spring break too. So I was
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna go to New York City, and I was teaching acting, and I wanted to be an actor. So I was like, I'm gonna go to New York City. I'm gonna stay on my friend's couch, and I'm gonna go see plays.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
you know, I was getting
Yeah.
my awesome salary, so I was getting paid to like go to New York. It was business, and I saw Billy Crudup in Arcadia, which was a play by Tom Stoppard, one of my favorite plays. And I was like, who is this guy? He was so good. It was him and Robert Sean Leonard, both of whom I sort of look like. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh, I want to do what they do. Like, I want to get that opportunity.
Did you start in
I started in theater. I was at the University of Missouri when I graduated from the University of Missouri.
Right.
And I had a theater scholarship. It wasn't like going to NYU or something where you're like, oh, you just go to Broadway. It
Right.
was like, oh, I gotta like go somewhere else where they can hire people to do that. So when I saw Billy doing that, I was like, such a good play. He was so good in it.
So good.
Everybody in it was so good. And I was like, maybe I could do this for a living.
He was my first on-screen kiss.
Billy Crudup
Yes.
in Billy's Long Time Walk. What was it?
Pretty Bird. I was so
Pretty
nervous,
Bird.
and I'd never done it before. It was my first on-screen kiss, and I remember talking to the director because I was like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Like, do I like? Is it like go in with like tongue? And he was like, no. He's like, no, do not do that.
Or yeah.
Or yes. But he was very sweet and like, yeah, I was nervous.
We kissed on screen, didn't we?
We did.
Right.
In
Bridesmaids?
Bridesmaids.
That was a fun movie.
It was so fun.
So
that was the last day
yes,
of
that was the last day of shooting. And fun fact, I had been shooting 2 weeks every day on Mad Men, and the last weekend I shot Pickups on the Town, and we shot the other stuff for Bridesmaids, the driving stuff. So all of that stuff in the bed that we shot at the beginning of the movie was everybody just wanted to leave, and we were goofing around.
Are you kidding? Everyone was
The crew did.
No, they were like, Jon Hamm's coming. Are you kidding me? No, I disagree.
Well, okay, but
Sorry.
it was definitely that like last day energy of people like, and we could not keep it together remotely. It was the dumbest.
It was so fun because it was so loose and like, oh, what if we do this and what if we try this?
And Paul Feig yelling like sex instructions from like,
Sex
put her leg over your shoulder, okay.
Oh, it was
And we're
so
in like
fun.
naked
I know.
body suits.
Yep.
Oh boy.
It was so
So dumb and fun
dumb and fun.
amazing. And you and Annie made one of the best comedies of all time.
Well, thank you.
And you got nominated for an Oscar.
Well, and you're in it,
And I'm in it.
and you made it great.
Boom! What's up, fuck buddy? Call for some roadside assistance?
Let's talk about your character in Fargo.
Sheriff Roy Tillman.
Roy, yes. Who I did hear you said was slightly, just visually kind of based on the Marlboro Man.
Well, that was Noah's hope. He's
Yeah.
I want this guy to be the Marlboro Man.
It kind of was.
Okay. I think what Noah was trying to do is sort of explode this idea of this rugged individualist that seems to be a very popular idea right now. It's kind of like sovereign citizen, and no one can tell me what to do, and this is my freedom, and it's all about me. It's this very onanistic, kind of real, self-centered, narcissistic idea of what being an individual has to be, being free must be.
Right.
You're free from all of the constraints of government and society and all these things. Well, of course, that's impossible. But there are people who subscribe to that, and when they take it to the extreme, this is what you get: this guy who has the rules don't apply because he makes the rules. I remember seeing the scripts come in and being like, "Wow, we're really kind of going there," and it just murdering people and just having his way with whoever comes across him. And I think to a certain segment of the population, that's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Like people are celebratory of that. And I think it is a cautionary tale of like, yeah, you know what, we need to live in a community. We need to live in a society that has rules, and we need to follow the rules. And we can point to one obvious orange example of that right now, who's kind of bumping up against the rules as well. So I think that was the hook of it. And it was really fun to play. It's all on the page. I didn't necessarily bring a ton to it. He wrote in the nipple rings and all the peculiarities to him, and that's very Fargo. That's very specific to Noah's sense of the world. And I think that's what makes it even more fun to watch, is as you see these kind of people that you think are in one lane, and all of a sudden they swerve over 2 lanes. You're like, oh, okay.
Well, Agent Jaqueen, I think you'll find that there is no one on God's green earth who is a greater enforcer of the laws of this land than Roy Tillman.
Why do I feel like there's a but here?
When we meet Roy in Fargo, you have quite an entrance, or should I say, a rising up out of the water.
Yes.
You are in full nipple piercings.
Completely naked.
With. What were you wearing on?
I was wearing a little thing around my
Little
junk.
sock?
A sock around my junk. A junk sock.
Junk sock. Technical
Have
term.
you ever been to Junk Sock?
I've not.
It's it's in Thailand.
It's fancy.
Gorgeous. It's a gorgeous resort in Thailand.
So it's so hard to ask a question because we just veer.
There's a process of
Do they
making
clamp?
fake
Do they stick?
nipples that stick onto my real nipples
Uh-huh.
that have little
Was it
earrings
like
in
an
them.
adhesive? What are we talking here?
Sure. It's a
Okay.
little latex stitch.
Okay. Oh.
It reminded me of, and it always comes back to SNL, but it reminded me of, when they put you in the face so they can put all the
Mm-hmm.
whatever they have to do.
The
I remember
mold.
I had to do the alien thing that Hader did,
Yeah.
and they had to do a mold of my face, and you have to look at this. But they did that on my nipples, so there's a picture of me with like 2 little blue latex things on my nipples that I'll send you.
Oh yeah.
Then it's like just on the day, like, okay, I'm gonna sit in this hot tub for a while with a weird beige bag around my junk. And
Was
at a
it
certain
cold?
point- it wasn't cold. It was a hot tub.
Oh.
It was nice.
No, I mean like outside. people
Outside?
said it-
Yeah.
Yeah.
But inside it was okay. So I just kind of hung out all day, and
Did you not get all the scripts? Did you get them as you went?
I
Or
got
di-
almost all of them. I think the last 2
But did you
came.
know how it would end?
I didn't think it was going to end great for
Yeah,
that guy.
yeah, yeah.
You couldn't have that guy kind of get away scot-free.
Right.
But I didn't know the specifics.
Right.
And I certainly didn't know that there would be like a detour into like a puppet show all of a sudden or whatever. So there were a lot of really creative left turns that Noah, and to FX's amazing credit too, they let the show go where it goes. Part of it is setting it against this beautiful backdrop of the mountains and what is meant to be the upper Midwest in the US, which actually was filmed in Calgary, and freezing cold, minus 20 degrees. Like, it was so cold. But you get all of that and you put it on screen, which is awesome. I mean, that's the fun part of doing it, is immersing yourself in this landscape for so long. The difficult thing for me was that I mentioned that I was also shooting the morning show, so I would have to fly back every other week and go do a week on that, which is like sunny in LA,
Yeah. And you're in
even
a
though it's
sauna.
supposed to be in New York City, and I'm in a sauna. So it was a weird kind of gear shift.
Is that hard to do just creatively, or is it kind of like
I
two
think it's
different places?
fun,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like so fun. It's kind of like the fun part of SNL, where I remember one time when I was hosting and we both had quick changes next to each other, and you're like, get ready. And I was like, what do you mean? And you're naked. And I'm naked. We're both naked. I was like, oh,
I'm
this
sure
is-
I covered up my
No,
bits.
not naked, but like, they're literally
Yes.
tearing clothes off you
You
and
just
stuffing.
have to like.
You have to go
you
with
ha-
it.
Yeah, the last time I was back, I had a quick change, and they were just stripping me, and Donna's there, and I just looked over, and Keenan was right there doing the same thing, and they were like, oh, and I was like, oh, we've seen each other.
All of the parts. It's fine.
It's just you just.
And
go
that was
back.
literally what you and I had this one time, and I was like, oh, right. Like, it's not awkward or weird. It's only awkward because you have to submit to it.
So fast.
And it's so fast.
And I love watching other people do it and see all the different, like Donna, who's the amazing woman that takes the host around. She's always pulling you. It's just like wig, wig, wig. Okay, lift foot,
Left
zip.
foot, lift foot.
Okay, arm, lips. And then you're just sort of like, and people
You're a mannequin. You're a
just
total
standing
mannequin.
there and you're just doing that. And then
Having
head-
people tie your shoes or Velcro your buttons or all this
Everyone
stuff,
that
it's
does it.
so bananas.
I love
And
it.
that's, for me, like, I turn into a 9-year-old, and it's like, this is what we get to do, and they pay us money for it, is outstanding. I love it.
I remember the first time I saw the show was like right when I got hired, and it was like, they were like, come see the show. The in-between sketches
Yeah.
is like,
It's chaos.
it's such a beautiful dance. Like,
Yeah.
you're like, oh no, it never, it's just,
And you never
God,
see
it's
the
so
you never
cool.
see the seams.
no,
It's seamless.
it's seamless.
You guys even on the ballot?
You guys even on the ballot? Sheriff, let's get one with all the Tillmans together. Hey, that's assault! Sheriff!
Similarly to Fargo, about like the landscape and all this stuff, I wanted to ask you about Royale, because like that to me feels so much of a time and place. Did you shoot that in Miami or
We shot it in LA.
in LA? It's
Yeah.
amazing because it's so mid-century and it feels so of that time, but it really does resonate. It must have been a fun place to be in for.
It was, and
that
I
length of time.
obviously learned more about it being a part of the show, and you sort of get that entryway by the Slim Aarons photos and things like that. It's such a bubble. Like, nowhere else in the country were they dressed like that and
right.
doing that. It's this weird vortex of like pastels and day drinking and
like such a fun, especially with
it was so
Leslie Bibb.
the cast.
Such an amazing cast to be able to, especially with Carol Burnett, who lived through it.
Yeah, I mean, I could talk for 20 minutes about Carol Burnett.
Go ahead, I'll go.
Yeah, you want to go?
Yeah, I'll just
Okay,
go.
great.
Just talk to yourself
Yep.
about it.
I'll just go right to camera. She's a fucking legend.
Force, right?
Sorry, I swore. She deserves it. I grew up watching her. I mean,
Me too.
influenced so many people in sketch comedy, and being a woman at that time with her own show. She's also just like, she shows up on set, she's talking to everyone, she knows everyone's name, she's telling stories, she kind of hangs out on set in between and just talks to people and hangs out, and she's such a light. People just like lit up around her.
I like to hear that because I feel like I know that you, having an experience that we've had being on set together and all the things that we've worked on together, is like, part of it is like to not get jaded or
Yeah.
too over it or feel like, I gotta be here. It's like, we get to be here.
You are exactly right. I'm gonna go walk up to him and tell him face to neck.
How many years were you on SNL?
7.
7 years. And now you've hosted 5 times.
Mhm.
I think my first time hosting was in 2009. So that would have been your like 4th year, like right in the middle of you.
Yeah.
And then for 2009, 2010, I hosted 3 times and we worked together so much. That's when we shot Bridesmaids, we did all this stuff. And then I was at your last show too.
Yep.
Which was so awesome and fun, and I'm sure tremendously emotional for you. I know it was. I watched it.
Yeah.
And it was so great with like Arcade Fire and Mick Jagger
Oh my God, it
and
was-
Lorne and
yeah.
dancing, and she's like a rainbow, and I'm gonna make you cry, and
I
all the
know.
other things.
Yeah.
Now you've hosted 5 times in the 10 years since then.
Yeah.
How is it to have this 5-time kind of milestone?
Like my last show, when I guess, like 2000, whatever that was.
That was so
I
fun.
was so emotional that week. I cried during read through. I sobbed after read through, and I just didn't want to cry on
the
air.
show.
I just wanted to like try to not cry, and I didn't really, even though it was probably one of the most emotional nights of my life. And then with the 5 timers, I kind of surprised myself that I got a little emotional at the end. I still can't even explain why. I think part of it, I did love that you were there, and Will was there, and Fred and Ryan and Matt and Paula and James.
It was a nice reunion.
It
for
really
sure,
was.
in
It
on
felt
so many
it felt
strange
like,
ways.
Yeah, and I think the other times I've hosted, it's weird to go back as a host a little bit, because
has
you're
to be.
seeing the other side of the curtain,
has to be.
and it's
Everybody that I've talked to that I know
Yeah.
from the cast that's gone back and hosted, from Tina to Bill to you, to
Yeah.
everybody that's done it, has said it's a real mind fuck. Like it's a
it's a-
weird gear shift because
It
you're like,
is.
I know what I'm supposed to do when I'm here, and now I'm not doing it. I have to
Yeah.
do this other thing.
And this time felt more like I was in the cast or something. I don't know. I can't really explain it. Maybe because, again, you guys were there. I love the cast right now.
Yeah.
I think, honestly, I didn't think I would ever get to the 5-time. So I think it was like emotional.
I mean, I said it to you probably 3 or 4 times that night, but it just felt simultaneously like a throwback,
Yeah.
and also we were so in it. We're so much older now.
So much older.
So much older. I'm 75.
God, you look
And
good.
you've got to be 60-ish?
Ish.
6-ish.
I don't want to say the exact.
Right. No, you never ask a woman her age. 65 though.
Yep, around there.
All right. But it's crazy because it feels like it was yesterday.
I know.
That's the most bonkers part about it.
I think also because the crew doesn't really change. If the crew changed and I went back, and the cast is obviously different, I think I would have felt like
Well, it's also funny
another
too because
world.
for me, it's such an amazing thing to be part of when you walk down the halls and you look at the
same
pictures.
halls, yeah.
And it's like getting a chance to work with someone like Carol Burnett, or for me, like Bobby Morse on Mad Men,
Yeah.
like the people that have this history and being a part of that history. And now we're part of that history. And it's like, as much as I don't think I'm my age, because I don't feel like I'm 53 years old, but I am. And it's like, I've been doing this a long time. We've been doing,
Yeah.
collectively been doing this a long time. And it
And-
feels really good.
And I think there's something about that group of people that you knew before things sort of
For sure.
got bigger.
Coalesced. Like,
Yeah,
it was
and I
still
think
percolating.
yeah, and like Rudd, when we were all back, it felt like, oh, we kind of knew each other and performed together before we did all these other things in
Yeah,
our lives.
yeah. Before the stakes
Yeah.
were so high too. It
Yeah.
was just like we're just goofing around.
Yeah.
A little Danish on your necktie?
Oh, and look at these soiled trousers. They need a dry cleaning.
The crazy thing about Palm Royale is how much DNA it sort of shares with Mad Men, and that kind of beautiful fashion and architecture and culture and style, all of it. That had to be a blast. What it really reminded me of was Mindy Grayson from Secret Wars. Like, I feel like she could swan into that show.
She probably could.
and crush. I mean, I know how fun it was because I did it for 10 years,
Yeah.
but to be able to put those clothes on, I just watched the scene where they do the like impromptu fashion show in the dressing room.
With the
the
live
models, the
models.
live
Like they
models.
used to do that. People would come
Yeah.
in and model clothes for
Yeah,
people.
and walk around and you could like, oh, I
Yeah.
mean, this is gonna sound like the douchiest thing ever, but I was just in St. Bart's. And they had that at a restaurant that we
What?
went at. The
Were they selling clothes?
Yeah. And
Wait, tell me.
okay, so
It was
there
like,
was
here's-
like a little boutique next to the restaurant,
Uh-huh.
and they had models wearing the clothes from the boutique walking around the tables. And you'd be like, oh, what is that? Oh, yeah, this is a thing. And it was very strange,
But kind of.
but kind of awesome.
Fun?
Yeah, super
Yeah.
awesome. It was still
Wonder if
something
anyone
that they
bought
did.
anything.
100%. The boutique was jammed when we jammed.
It was jammed?
It was totally
Jam-packed?
jammed. It was jam-packed. It was jammed. But anyways,
Wow.
that idea
crazy.
of it's so strange and foreign, but it's so glamorous and so particular.
And just being there with those ladies.
Well, and you can see why your character wants to be a part of that.
Yeah.
It's so aspirational and it's so exciting to be able to go into a place and go like, make me an outfit.
And it was the culture in that place. It was like, if you're not that person, if you're not in the shiny sheet, you're having a bad week. No one wants to talk to you.
The town I grew up in, the like little community that I went to high school in St. Louis, had a kind of a version of that, like the local newspaper, of all the like ladies who lunch, and they all went to this, they all shopped at the same shops, and they all gossiped, and it was the whole thing, and you were just like, wow, this is like.
I could not survive.
I was very much out of it. I was from the wrong side of the tracks for sure. Like I did not understand it, but it was very much a thing, and the shiny sheet.
It's a real thing.
God.
There's a real shiny sheet, and it's still going.
President Nixon is coming to your party?
He wants to meet the astronaut, yes. And me.
Astounding.
It's so weird what we
I know,
get to
yeah,
do
I know,
and
I know.
get to do it, not have to do it. We
Get
get to
to,
do it. It's
yeah.
so weird and fun and awesome. And when they say like, "You want to do that?" You're like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
I mean, it's always yes. And how much more fun can we make it? And that is why I love working with you. And
That is why I love working with you too.
why when we get to do things together, people like watching us. And this is no exception. When they asked me to do this, I said, I want to do it so
Me
bad.
too.
And I made it happen, and we made it happen, and I love doing it, and love you.
I love you. We're supposed to say goodbye to each other now.
Forever?
I mean, I hope not.
I hope not. You know what? I'm tired, so I'm going to probably
You're
just
gonna go back to sleep?
go back to sleep.
All right. Bye, Ham. God, he goes quick.